Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Unquestionably Raw NBA podcast. And once again, we're continuing our team previews, and tonight we have the Boston Celtics. I know a lot of people are probably excited about the Celtics this year. And we've got another similar cast of characters with us tonight. We've got Lance Robertson back with us again. And once again, for the second time, we've got Nitz Bluestein with us. And DJ Gonzo Star, he should be joining us. He will probably pop in at some point. So everybody be on the lookout for that. But we're just going to jump right into this. And I'm going to break kind of the offseason moves down in different parts because we know the Boston Celtics made a ton of moves this offseason. So let's just start with the big one, Lance, the trade that happened. And we don't have to go into huge detail because a lot of people have talked about it, but we'll briefly touch on it. Kyrie Irving goes to the Boston Celtics from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland ships out the Brooklyn pick, which we're not going to talk about that right now but they give up Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder. What were your thoughts on that trade? Is that going to help them out this year?
Definitely, and it just eases them of having to think about paying somebody, a huge contract because they got 2 years of him until they got to worry about paying him again. So I think they did pretty good, and I mean, of course, they lost Crowder, but I think they'll be just fine. Nice. Do you think Kyrie Irving is going to be able to fit into this, what Brad Stevens likes to do? We know he's a big-time ISO scorer and all that. You think he's going to help Boston? Obviously, Isaiah Thomas did a lot of the same stuff. Right. I was about to say, I think he'll do just fine. And obviously, when Isaiah was in there, they played ISO ball too. But I think Kyrie, I think it's going to be safe to say he's probably a better shooter than Isaiah Thomas. And I mean, he's taller, so if someone tries to crash on him, like the Cleveland Cavaliers did against Isaiah, he'll be able to see over people and be able to get the ball out of the way. So I think that couple inches really matters in the grand.
And it's going to help him, even though Kyrie is not what we call a great defensive player. He's probably a slight upgrade just because of the size.
Yeah, just because he's not 5'9". So
exactly.
Even the worst of players that can't post up could post up on Isaiah Thomas.
JJ Redick, right?
No disrespect to Isaiah. I love Isaiah. But
JJ Redick, right?
Yeah.
Nitz, what did you think of the trade? Do you think this helps Boston bringing in Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like Lance said, he's just by nature of the fact that he's taller and he's like slightly a better defender. I mean, I don't think you're improving defensively much, but that's not really what you were going to get out of it anyways. And again, mad love to it. He's one of my favorite players. I'm more concerned with shipping out Crowder just because Celtics isn't that strong defensively. And I mean, we could talk about it more later just with the addition of Morris, and you have some guys that could prove to be good assets. But I think that, and especially shipping it off to Cleveland, you're not really trying to get the number 1 seed. I think if they do end up with the number 1 seed, which I think they will, they're gonna go up against Braun, and they just ship their best Braun defender to him. So I think, if anything, that's going to be their biggest problem with actually clinching the Eastern title.
All good stuff. I think they'll be fine without Crowder, and I'll get to it when we get to their depth and their starters in a moment. After we talk about all these offseason moves, I actually love the addition of Kyrie Irving. Just as good as Isaiah Thomas was as a fourth quarter player, I mean, what led the NBA in fourth quarter scoring, brought them back numerous times. Great player. But I just think, like we've all said, defensively, he was even more of a liability than Kyrie is just because of the size. I mean, their games are similar, but some of the actions that Stevens will run, there's going to be a lot of spot up opportunities for Kyrie. And we know he can shoot the ball really well. And, I mean, he gets to the rim. He's a great finisher. Probably it's tough because the stats say Curry's probably the best finisher among guards in the league. But when you watch the game, my eyes tell me that Kyrie Irving is the best finisher in the game. I know the stats probably say differently, but, I mean, I think, Lance, would you agree Kyrie's probably the best finisher in the league?
I want to say he's one of the best because I did see a stat where he doesn't rank that high, but I mean, it just looks natural. Dude just doesn't dunk, but he can finish in traffic with reverses, and he's one of the best. I mean, it's no knock to say he's not the best, but he's one of the best. Probably top 3, top 4. Yeah. When it comes to point guards.
Yeah, definitely fair enough.
And
we know this: Kyrie Irving will hit the big shot on the biggest stage. as great as Isaiah was, I mean, Kyrie did it in the NBA Finals. I mean, and I think though the way Brad Stevens coach, he's going to fit right in, especially with Gordon Hayward. I love the trade. I'm probably one of the few on NBA Twitter who thinks it was a fair trade both ways. Call me crazy. I may look like a complete moron at the end of the season, and I'll eat crow if I do. But I really like the trade. But let's get on to the next big one. Gordon Hayward signing with the Boston Celtics. Nitz, do you think he's going to help them out? Obviously, it should be a yes.
I mean, it's an obvious yes, but actually, hold up. I want to backtrack a little bit.
Go ahead.
I think that Kyrie actually fits into Stevens' playing system. I think Kyrie's kind of like a selfish player, and now you're signing guys like Hayward, and you're trying to develop younger players. Do you think he's going to be able to fit in better with Brad Stevens' system?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, he mentioned it a little bit at the conference that he wants to be more of like that team guy, but until we see it, I don't have any proof points.
Okay. What about Gordon Hayward here? Do you like this signing for the team?
Yeah, I love the signing of Hayward. I don't think there's like a lot to say about it. I think it's an obvious trade for the roster.
The one thing I can say about it,
go ahead, Lance.
Hayward was offered this featured role, right? The featured scoring role. That's before Kyrie came, right? That's one of the things they talked about because he didn't. I mean, you would think he had in Utah, but it was really not the case.
He was the feature scorer in Utah, but that was more of a slow down. They played the slowest pace in the league. Yeah. It
just didn't seem like it because I mean, in some of the biggest moments in the playoffs, Hayward wasn't even involved in them.
Yeah, Joe Johnson was the one getting the basketball.
Right. He wasn't even involved. But and I'm not saying this to say that they're not going to get along or whatever, but it was funny that that's what he was, spieled like, hey, you can be this guy.
Kind of like what happened in San Antonio with Aldridge, where he was supposed to be the featured guy, and then the rise of Kawhi Leonard comes.
Right. So, not saying, because naturally maybe Hayward will still be the premier guy, but Kyrie probably does more later in the game. Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting to see how they mesh.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Nitz? Go ahead.
Two things. I think that's a really good point. It was also really big in bringing over Hayward. I think you kind of sold this guy on playing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You shipped it off. I'm not saying I disagree with the trade. I think it was good, but that's just one point. Also, you have Kyrie, who basically said he wants to be the man, and you put him in Celtics with another guy that was brought over to be the man. I think Kyrie takes that, though, just based on like the conference alone and the way that went. And I know that reporters were obviously asking Kyrie more questions, but it felt like his team now. It didn't feel like Hayward.
I think it's going to be just fine because
they seem like they're having fun.
I think Gordon Hayward wants to win, and we all know the relationship he has with Brad Stevens, playing for him in college, going to two national championship games in a row. Wait, he wasn't there the second one, was he?
No,
he was not there the second one.
He got drafted after he almost hit the game.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He was not there the second one. Yeah. But he went to a national championship with Brad Stevens. The relationship is there. He's going to figure it out. Those two guys will coexist. They're both great players, and great players learn to play with each other. And I'll go back, and I know it's cliche, LeBron and Wade, both guys who dominated the basketball, they figured it out. Yeah. Kyrie. Yeah, exactly.
I think Kyrie's problem really was just with Bron's ways. I mean, after a while, I can rub someone the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly. So I think it was more of that than actually really just wanting to be the man. And I just think he was tired of LeBron.
But you know what? Kyrie's going to get to handle the ball more with this Boston team than he did because we know, like, Hayward's going to handle the ball a lot, but he's not LeBron James.
No, he doesn't have the handles like that. He doesn't.
No, he's. I mean, I actually think he probably has a better handle. He's not a better playmaker though. Gordon Hayward can handle the basketball. LeBron James his handle's not. Call me crazy. I'm gonna get roasted on Twitter, maybe in the chat room. LeBron is not a great ball handler. Like he's not out there. He's not Curry he's not Kyrie, but he's got a good handle.
So a ball.
You're comparing him to Curry and Kyrie. That's kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
you can have the best ball handling in the world, but what are you going to do with it?
Exactly.
Like the guys that dribble like for all this time and wait until the shot clock gets to 7 seconds. I mean, what are you doing?
Hey, Allen Iverson did it pretty well.
I know.
We were just talking.
When you got talent around you can't really do stuff like that.
Exactly. That's all good stuff. Let's go to another thing now. Just obviously, to get Gordon Hayward, they had to ship off Avery Bradley, and to Detroit, you bring in Marcus Morris. Lance, what did you think of that trade?
I really thought it was going to be smart.
Bradley.
I thought it was going to be smart, or Crowder before this happened, that he was involved in the trade.
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised that it was Bradley, but I guess from what I was told, I mean, Bradley's probably going to get a higher payday than Smart is, so I guess that makes sense. But
and he's already making more money.
Yeah, which I think is like 9 a year, 8 a year, something like that.
Let me look. He might be making more than that. Go ahead, though. I'm going to look this up. Go ahead.
But yeah, and I was sad because he just came off his best offensive year as far as points are considered, and he's still one of the better defenders. He may not be as high as people regard him as, but he's still one of the better perimeter defenders.
Yeah, you're right. Last year he made basically eight.
That's what I'm saying. So it's only a little bit more than Crowder, right? It's not that much.
Yeah.
You would think it's going to at least double in his contract year, but it's not the end of the road for them. But I do think the ship kind of got a little chink in it. So.
What did you think of them shipping off Avery Bradley for Marcus Morris? Obviously, different positions. Marcus Morris, your classic stretch 4 guy.
I think taking all of it into context to get Hayward, it made perfect sense. I'm high on Morris. I think he's a good defender. I think you could throw him at Bron. And again, that's kind of what you're looking at, is like when you're going up against LeBron in the East, are you going to be able to beat them in a 7-game series ultimately? So I like it.
Yes. I actually like the trade too, especially you got to make that move to bring in Gordon Hayward. He's a top 20 player. I know some people think I'm crazy, but I think anytime you have a chance to bring in a top 20 player, you got to do it. Even if it means you got to ship out Avery Bradley. But you get Marcus Morris, who's a quality NBA player. Perfect stretch 4 in today's game. He's going to rebound. Yeah. He's going to play a little defense. He's not a great defender, but he'll get after it, and he can make threes.
And honestly, they probably do need the inside defense more than they need the perimeter defense at this point, because we've all know they have still yet to get a freaking rim protector. They do not have one. Until they have one, I can't take them serious to go to the finals.
I can, because Cleveland doesn't have a rim protector either.
They don't, but they still got LeBron, so I can't.
That's true. I can't. That's all fair points.
Maybe next year when they don't have LeBron.
That's true. That is true.
Then yes, but
Baines came with him, right?
Say that again.
Baines came with Morris in that trade.
No. Did they sign Baines or did he come in the trade? I thought they signed Aaron Baines.
I think he was signed. He was like one of the last players I think they signed.
Yeah, they signed Aaron Baines as a free agent. Now I want to get to the last thing, obviously, the NBA draft. Jason Tatum. Lance, what are your thoughts? Do you think is Jason Tatum going to help this basketball team? So obviously, with some of the trades, he's going to play now.
Right. I think he's going to do more than Jaylen Brown did his first year or so with the Celtics. I mean, I don't know if he's going to necessarily be worth trading essentially Markelle Fultz for him, but I think he's going to show a little bit more than Jaylen Brown did his first year,
especially offensively.
Right.
Defensively, no, but offensively,
but he's just going to be more versatile offensively. Like he's going to actually be able to handle the ball some, and
he's probably the best ISO scorer coming out of this draft. Which you do need guys who can get buckets.
Right.
I know we always talk bad about ISO guys, but you need guys who can get buckets. Sometimes. Yes, it is. Nitz, what did you think of this of Jason Tatum? How do you think he fits in with the Celtics team?
Well, I love what you said. The guy gets buckets, and he just looks natural in summer league. I think he's a great addition. I'm more looking to see how many minutes he actually gets with this kind of a lineup.
That's fair.
You got to develop the guy, and I don't know if this is necessarily like with a top 3 pick going to a team that was in the
conference finals last year. Exactly. That's actually very fair. I think he gets minutes this year. I think he's going to get 20, 25 minutes. They have to play him just because of the way the roster breaks down. You don't want to. You're not going out there and trotting Gordon Hayward out there 40+ minutes. Jaylen Brown's not going to play 40+ minutes. Smart will play a little point guard. If and Rozier's minutes may be cut down a little bit, but I love Jason Tatum's game, and I'll be a fan. Admit I was not a fan of him when they drafted him going into the draft. I was not sold. but I saw his offensive because I know how and it's more so because he went to Duke, and we know how Duke guys can be. You know, it's one of two things with Duke players. It's a curse. You suck or you get hurt. And I just am never so – I mean, look at it. Kyrie Irving, injury history. Great player.
He only played like 8 games in college, right?
Yeah, injury, but in the NBA, injury history. Grant Hill, great player. Probably a top 15 all-time player if he never gets hurt. Injury history.
Oh, okay, Grant Hill.
Okay. Yeah, Grant Hill always hurt. These great players, Elton Brand stayed injured. You know, and that's what scares me about Duke players. What was the last great Duke player that came into the NBA and wasn't great and didn't get hurt? You really can't think. I mean, it's a curse.
That wasn't great?
That was great and didn't.
Oh, because I was going to say Redick. Yeah,
but I wouldn't say he's been injured, but he hasn't been great. He's not a great NBA player.
Well, I mean, it's not as bad as some of the other past.
No. He's actually about as. This is actually what I thought he would be. I didn't think he'd be an all-star, but I thought he'd be a good NBA player. I was wrong about Morrison, by the way. So I'm not trying to toot my horn on Redick. I was wrong about Adam Morrison. I fully admit that. But yeah, that's the scary. That's what I always consider when guys come out of Duke. It's a curse. It's a Duke curse. Jabari Parker. Look how great he was playing. 2 ACLs now. It's the curse. It sucks, but it's true. But Jason Tatum's game is smooth. Great ISO player. Can really shoot the basketball. I think he'll help.
He'll be the 6th man scoring wise. You know, he's gonna.
I think early it'll be Rozier.
You think
Call me
so?
crazy. Early, yeah. I think early. Early it'll be Rozier. Later in the season, I think eventually that's what they're hoping. Tatum will be their scorer off the bench. But I think early it's Terry Rozier. Because he showed a lot in the playoffs last year. I was impressed from what he did.
Man.
Their backs were against the wall, down 0-2. Rozier stepped up big time. I mean, that showed a lot of nuts.
I'm going to have to go watch some games because I have yet to see any real –
I haven't. I mean, he didn't really show
a lot during the regular season, did he?
He did. No, he didn't really. You didn't see much. It was in the playoffs. That's why I'm so high on him. He did it in the biggest moment.
Yeah, but
that shows a lot.
Are you now giving that time to Tatum over? I can't pronounce his name.
Terry Rozier, definitely. I'm gonna give him. Oh, I mean, they're different positions, but I think offensively in that second unit, they're gonna go to Rozier a lot because Marcus Smart. Like, I think he can score. He can play make, but they're not going to him to get buckets. I think Rozier
him shooting making that many threes will never probably happen again. But
but he can hit open corner threes and big timely threes.
I think he's good. Smart. He's good in the post. I mean, that dude is really good in the post, and
he'll guard bigger players and do a good job.
Yeah. That dude's a freaking beast. I mean, he's big ass point guard.
We're going to get to Marcus Smart in a minute, but we're going to go to the starters right now. We're gonna, with the depth of this team, Lance, how do you see this team? And I don't want you to do it of how you think they should do it. What do you think Stevens does as the starting lineup? That's what I want you to do this.
Okay, so with the block of forwards they have, they're gonna have to do it this way, I would think. So obviously Kyrie, I think Hayward is gonna move to the 2. Jaylen Brown to the 3.
Yes.
And this part. Because I know Horford does not want to keep having to play the 5.
Yeah.
So I think just to start the game, to keep him happy, he'll play the 4. And probably not Morris, maybe Baines will see a little bit of the 5. So I'm not saying he's going to start his minutes.
But so you think kind of like what Golden State does with Z-Patch. Start him at the 5.
Just to have him there. And then, I mean, you could 2 or 3 minutes in, just like the Mavs did with Bogut. Have him in for 2 or 3 minutes and take him out.
Yeah.
And then fix up the roster again, and then just put Horford back at the 5, and then Morris at the 4. Like I do not see Horford.
Morris. So you think Morris probably gets the starters minutes at the?
Definitely.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Nitz, how about you? How do you see this starting lineup shaping up?
I mean, obviously Kyrie and Hayward are out there. I actually had my starting lineup as what you think they're going to switch to. So I had Horford starting at center, and then Morris.
You have Morris at the 4. Okay, that's fair.
I totally get. I get the idea. Really is not going to play that center. Then you start him at the 4, and then you move the other guy. I keep forgetting.
I mean, because if Horford has a problem, we can trade you. I mean, it's not like he's.
I don't think Horford's not that kind of guy, though.
But I'm saying, and that's why I'm saying it's not going to be that big of a deal if he does start at the 5. But just out of respect for him, I mean, because he is a great teammate from what I've heard, they'll probably just do that. just to make him happy.
And Baines played for Popovich, so Baines will step up and do his job.
Right. I mean, he's no softy. I mean,
No.
that's what I'm saying. He's not going to get starter minutes, but he can at least make a
give
throughout the season to start.
12, 15 minutes a game, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Start
Exactly.
the ball game, play a couple minutes, and then just smoothly put Horford at the 5 again.
Exactly. I'm with you on this one, Lance. I think that's exactly how it goes. Kyrie at the 1.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown and Hayward at the wing. They're interchangeable. It doesn't matter. Those two will be on the wing. And then obviously Horford at the 4 and Baines at the 5. I think that's how they go. I wouldn't be shocked if that's how they go all season long, unless they get an upgrade at the big man position, which going to be tough. But we'll see. I mean, even if you were to trade, if like you made a trade with Philly to get like an Okafor,
or if they made a trade with the Mavs and gave maybe the Grizzlies pick
for Nerlens Noel,
get Nerlens Noel.
Yeah, there you go then. Exactly.
Which I thought they were going to go after him, but they had bigger fish to fry apparently.
Yeah, and then they might because Nerlens Noel has a decent contract now because he took the qualifying offer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could do that, and maybe. But here's the thing with that though. Boston, they're in a good position now because it's win now, but also for the future because they're so young.
That's what I'm saying.
So you make that move knowing you could lose Noel at the end of the year because you probably can't pay him. That's the problem. I think that's the only problem with that trade. It could happen though, but
if they did this trade last season, it would make more sense.
But here's the thing though. Let's just say you make a trade with Philly, you give up a second-round pick for Okafor just because Philly wants to dump him. Does that really help Boston? I mean, defensively,
But a second-round pick doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, so. and he doesn't. And he obviously would play the 5, but do you really need Okafor because you know what he does defensively? Absolutely.
Yeah, nothing. I think Horford's better off at the 5.
Exactly. And I love Okafor's game offensively as a traditional big man. Mm-hmm. But I think those are things to look at. You never know. Danny Ainge is I didn't expect this trade with Kyrie, but
Danny Ainge is cold-blooded. We can just say it right now.
Yeah, I mean, he does he's got the offseason on lockdown. I mean, he brought in Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. So
Danny Ainge is that corporate boss that you're about to get your pension. You're just a little bit there. And he's like, nah, man, we got to let you go.
I mean, look what he did to Kendrick Perkins back in the day, right? I mean, no one saw that coming.
He's not afraid to ruffle feathers, man.
He traded Kendrick Perkins to bring back the guy their original pick of Jeff Green. No one saw that coming. I mean, it is what it is. Now, Lance, let's go to their bench. Something I know you're not the biggest fan of. I disagree with you on this, but how do you see the bench shaping?
I'm sorry, I had to look at these names here. I mean, when you had to bring in Shane Larkin.
Yeah, but he's going to be a third point guard, though.
Look, man, he could barely get minutes on the Brooklyn Nets. All right,
Hey, let me tell everybody this, Lance. He was on your Mavericks, so Shane Larkin.
I'm not I'm not necessarily trashing him. I'm just saying the truth. I mean, he literally cannot get minutes on the Brooklyn Nets, and I have respect for them because they're doing better. But I mean, that says a lot about you as a player. But I mean, so I guess it would have to be Marcus Smart. I mean, you say Rozier. I mean,
yeah, you've
seen him play more than I have, but I can't really.
You know what? But the reason I say it, who's going to play the 2 then?
Well, I mean,
who's going to play the 2?
Bro, so you can have Marcus Smart play spot minutes at the 2. Like, that's what he did a lot of last season.
Yeah, but that's why I've got Rozier as the backup guard.
Right. Unless you want to give Shane Larkin a chance standing at 5.
No, I'm not putting Shane Larkin over Rozier.
You want to talk about – come on. He's there.
Nah, man. Rozier showed me what he can do come playoff time.
And then Tatum, of course. And then after that, honestly, man, I don't know about the rest of that bench, man. You might just have to play an 8-person lineup.
James, we talked about it a little bit with James Hollis the other day, him being the big Celtics fans. And he said, and his thing was either one of Yabusele, Ojale, and there was one more. He said one of those guys is going to have to come in and play the minutes. I'll when I get to my lineup, I'll tell you who I think it's going to be. Yeah. But I'm with him on that. But Nitz, how do you see this bench shaping up? I know you may not be as high on the bench as I am.
I'm kind of high on the bench. I like
nice.
I spent all day just reading about the dude. A lot more respect than I thought I was going to have for the guy, but I think he's that guy that runs your bench. And I think with such a young team, if you're looking to get some guys some valuable minutes and you have Semi and Yabu, and I can't pronounce either of their full names, I think that's where you get it.
Semi Ojales is how you say Semi's last name. I can't pronounce Yabusele's first name.
I know.
I need to learn
I'm
it, but
I'm not even going to try to give it a shot over here.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think you get Smart running your bench, and I think you get Semi and Yabu in there. You get Tatum, actually, for Hayward. I don't know who I have running point, actually.
Man, if Horford – oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What about Horford?
Go ahead, Lee.
I was going to say, when Horford gets into foul trouble, it's going to get ugly.
Why?
Yeah, I think Horford's a smart – I think he's a smart player, though, and he won't be in foul trouble too much.
They're
going to go – they'll go uber small, and that's when – and I'm going to say, and that's when we're going to get our lineups where you're going to have Brown, Hayward, and Tatum in there at the same time. And it's going to be fantastic. And I can't wait because that's going to be fun basketball to watch.
Steven says it all the time. He plays positionless basketball. It's just about skill.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it.
What skill do you have? Can you rebound? Can you block?
Can you rebound? Can you dribble, pass, shoot?
Yeah. So, I mean, even if you're small, he'll still put you at the 5.
See, and I think that's why I think if you go small, that's where a guy like Ojale can come in and play the 5 because he can hit those threes. He showed in summer league he can sit out and hit that setup 3. So I like that. But I think the lineup, the bench, I think you're going to see obviously Rozier's the 1, Smart's going to play the 2, Tatum will be at the 3, Ojale will be the 4, and you're going to see Yabusele will get some chance at the 5. I think you'll see some stagger minutes where Horford will be with that group at the 5. Baines will be with the bench at the 5. So I think you're going to see a lot of that because outside of Horford and obviously, actually, I take that back. Morris will be the 4, and I think Ojale may be the 5 even at 6'7". I think you may see Ojale at the 5. That's what I'm going to go with. I forgot about Marcus Morris. I mean, Morris is 6'9", but outside of Horford and Baines, they don't have a single player that's taller than 6'9". And those two guys are 6'10". They don't have one guy over 6'10" on this team, which makes sense with the positionless basketball. You can throw Ojale out there because he's going to play bigger than he is. He's going to hit the setup 3. I think he'll be fine. I think he's the guy who ends up getting those minutes off the bench out of him, Yabusele. You know, you may see some games where Marcus Smart will start, like Nitz said. I wouldn't be surprised. You're going to have those games
starting.
I know you. Yeah, you've got him. You've got him starting, but I think there will be games where he does start. I think Stevens is going to play with the lineup because they do have a lot of talent and guys who can do different things. It's going to be interesting. They're going to be exciting to watch this year, which leads me into our next topic here. How is Lance? How is this Boston team going to fare this year? Where do you have them finishing?
Okay, well, I mean, they finished first in the East last year, and I mean, they got better offensively, but I really don't know if they got better defensively. You can probably maybe argue to say they got worse, maybe not that much worse, obviously, right? But I think they're going to stick around the same thing. I maybe win a game or two more, but I don't really see them just winning 60 games this year. Like even in the East, like
okay,
they'll probably maybe win 1 or 2 more. I mean, they could probably still finish first in the East because I don't think
54, 55 wins.
Right. Like I'm not going to go crazy and say they're going to win 60 games, but I mean, somewhere around there. I'm high.
Here's another question.
I'm high on them, but I'm
really high on. Here's my question though. Here's the real thing. Do they beat Cleveland in the playoffs?
I mean, I don't think they're going to get embarrassed really like they did last season.
That's not the question. That's not the question. Are they going to beat Cleveland?
No. But you know what, though? If they do, I won't be surprised because, my goodness, Cleveland's, even with Crowder, they're probably still a really crappy defensive team, even with Crowder. But I think the Celtics really just need to focus on outscoring them. I know that sounds stupid because obviously every time you outscore a person, but
neither one of them are great defensively. Neither one of these.
Right.
So yeah, that makes perfect sense.
But I think if you look up the numbers, I'm sure the Celtics are somewhere. I mean, I think they finished like 13th or 14th, so like middle of the pack defensively. But
they have their moments defensively. They're not a great defensive team though.
Yeah, well, it's more so team concept than anything. They don't have anyone that's like a Kawhi Leonard that's just going to dominate defensively. But,
Yeah, they do. They got Marcus Smart, who I love. Absolutely love Marcus Smart.
Yeah, but is he
Kawhi Leonard though?
I'm not saying he's as good as Kawhi Leonard. But hey, Marcus Smart was one of my top 3 candidates for Defensive Player of the Year last year. I love Marcus. That dude is a monster.
I do too, but I mean, he's not as dominant.
No, but
he makes plays.
He's as close as you're going to get though of anybody in the league. That dude is dominant defensively. Not like Kawhi, but
either way, I think they'll be fine.
You know what, James Lewis and myself and Dave Dufour, the 3 of us are on that USS Marcus Smart. We are the captains of that boat.
I'm not off of it either. I'm just saying I still like Kawhi.
Yes, I guess fair. That's an easy thing to say. Kawhi
but I mean, I'm saving my bold stuff for later. Okay, I'm being safe right now.
Hey, we're gonna get there.
I'm not making the Westbrook gamble on the steal. I'm staying safe. I'm staying back.
All right, Lance is gonna play it safe right now. Nitz, how do you see the Boston Celtics season going? Where do they finish in the East?
I think they finished first. I agree with Lance. I don't give them more than like 55 wins. They definitely are not winning 60. They had like a massive overturn this year, so you got to give them like a couple. You got to give them the start of the season to gel a little bit. To your question, against the Cavs, no, I don't see them beating LeBron. I know LeBron's going to be like 33, but you're right. They don't get. They didn't even get swept, but they don't get embarrassed the way they did now, especially if it can't come back until before or after the All-Star break. That's insane.
You two are just not as high on the Boston Celtics as I am.
No. I'm high on the Boston Celtics this year.
Not as high as me, though.
You're a winner. I just don't to get that 1 seed.
That's
I think
fair.
That 1 seed too, because a lot of Cleveland doesn't. Especially if it can't play, LeBron is not going to give a shit about what seed he ends up in. I think
he doesn't give a damn what seed he is, anyways.
Yeah,
I was gonna say LeBron doesn't care what seed he is, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what seed you are in the East, anyways. You're gonna get killed by the Warriors. So it doesn't. At this point, you can be the first seed in the East.
Here's the deal, though.
And still go out west and get mutilated.
All fair. I think Boston has a better chance of competing with Golden State than Cleveland does. With that
they
said,
have beat them a couple times in regular season these last couple seasons.
Because style of play and everything, I think they match up better. They're not better, but they match up better. With that said, injuries happen. So if one of those big 4 go down in Golden State, now you're talking about something. So anything's possible. I do think if everybody's healthy, Boston matches up better with Golden State. I think that's my opinion. But I think I may be even higher on this Boston team than James Hollis is, and he's a Celtics fan. I've got Boston. Not only do I have them winning the East, not only do I have them winning at least 57 games, but they are going to the NBA Finals this year. Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying it right now, and I don't think that's a bold prediction.
We're not even at the
bold. It's really not.
No, it's not my bold. That's not my bold prediction. I've said it. I don't know if I said it live or off air to you guys, but I've said it many times. I think Boston's going to the finals, the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think Cleveland's going to really struggle. LeBron James, yes, I know Michael Jordan was 35, damn near 36. Maybe he was 36 when he won that 6th championship. LeBron is not Michael Jordan. As great as he is not Michael.
Yeah, he's better.
Stop. Stop.
I
may ban you from this podcast forever. You will not put LeBron James ahead of Michael Jordan.
Matt, compared to look at the playoffs at the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Yeah.
Okay, now the roster changes, even if they only have from All-Star break to the finals to gel in Cleveland with it and Bron. Do you really see the Celtics having improved that much in Cleveland?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I do. Because, and I haven't touched on it, I think Jaylen Brown is going to be absolutely phenomenal this year. He's going to be in contention for most improved player. Shit, I just gave away probably my bold prediction, and I'll stop.
Man, okay, look, the Cavs could fall back to the 8th seed and could beat the Celtics.
It's all. Hey, no, that could happen. But that's how highly I think of Jaylen Brown. I don't think they miss Jay Crowder one bit because of Jaylen Brown. I think they don't miss Avery Bradley one bit because I think Marcus Smart is going to step up and do that and more. And I think Jason Tatum's going to be fantastic in the 20-25 minutes he plays. That's why I think this team is deeper. Gordon Hayward is great. He's better than Isaiah Thomas to me. He's a better player. And Kyrie Irving is a better player than they have. Their two best players this year are better than their two best players last year. And
so for sure,
much better.
On paper, for sure, the Celtics are the better team. Like, you can't even argue that.
On paper, the Celtics were the better team last year. On paper, 1 through 12. But that doesn't mean a damn thing, though.
Right. Because on paper,
I thought they were deep.
The
Cavs weren't that deep. The Cavs weren't that deep. Their depth was Darren Williams, Kyle Korver, and Channing Frye, and Iman Shumpert. Come on now.
That's what makes it even better that they beat Boston the way they did.
They have LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love, though. And Tristan Thompson from time to time will do his job.
Tristan Thompson.
But this Cleveland,
I don't want to talk about this man today.
Yeah, and Isaiah, but that's where I'm going with. I love this Boston. I really like this Boston team, and I actually think they can get a game or two against Golden State.
I do too. I never said I don't like them.
Yeah. I know you like them, but I actually think they're going to get a game or two from Golden. They could make a 6-game series out of Golden State.
I think they can make it a 5 or 6 game series.
Yeah,
I mean,
not going to sweep, but in a 7, I just don't see them.
The game they won was when Isaiah Thomas was out.
The only way, and Byron, he's in the chat room, the only way that Golden State the only team that can make Golden State even sweat is the Rockets, and that's if they get LeBron James in the offseason.
No, I think they can make it now. I think Rockets versus Golden State in Eastern Conference.
It ends in 5. It ends in 5. It ends in 5, and it's not close.
Wait, what ends in 5?
Always goes to the Warriors.
The Rockets and the Warriors. If it's conference final, the Warriors win it in 5.
That's 6 or 7.
They win it in 5. Absolutely, they win it in 5.
With Chris Paul.
The Warriors. Yeah, absolutely.
With Chris Paul.
No, you gotta
absolutely
think about.
Man, that is disrespectful to one of the greatest point guards.
It's not disrespectful. Byron's gonna hate me for that. He's gonna tell me I hate you. How are you from Houston? You hate the Rockets. I don't hate the Rockets.
Talking down on the H, Matt.
I just don't think they're better than Golden State.
Wait, so hold up, Lance. I didn't get it though. Rockets versus Golden State. How many games and who wins?
6 or 7 and Warriors.
Okay.
You think the Rockets are good enough to take Golden State 6 or 7? Get out of here.
Yes.
I think if you're talking by the time we get to the playoffs, yeah.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Opening night, we are destroying the Rockets.
Here's the deal: the Cavs were better last year than the Rockets are this year, and the Warriors 1 in 5.
Chris Paul finally gets to play with a legit offensive player.
What? You mean he didn't have Blake Griffin for the last 4 or 5 years?
Really? Harden is a lot more versatile than Griffin ever will be.
Yeah, but Blake Griffin's still a legit offensive player. They're just different positions.
But Griffin was never runner-up MVP in his life.
I'll say this, though. What I will say is I think I like Clint – call me crazy. I like Clint Capella more than DeAndre.
He's one of the best defense. And Chris Paul will make this dude maybe a 10.
I mean, we saw what Harden did for Clint Capella last year. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I know we're going off in a tangent. We always somehow make this pro Golden State on this podcast. It's true, Lance. It's true, isn't it?
You always have guests that are somehow from the Bay or Warriors fans, so it's just going to happen.
It's the influence we have on the league, man. That's just what it is.
It's true. It's very true. But I'm going to go now. We're at our bold prediction / hot take predict. And Lance, you've been here. You've all done this. It can be a hot take bold prediction about a player, the team, or both. Lance, you first.
All right, here we go. So, the Celtics will have 2 All-NBA players on their team and possibly an All-Defensive player.
No, they will have an All-Defensive player. Who are the All-NBA guys? I'm curious.
Kyrie
and Hayward. Okay. That's fair. That's actually – I think that's bold. That's bold, I think, because of that as deep as that forward position is for you to say Hayward. Yeah, I like it.
But I think now that Hayward's out east with the Celtics, he'll get a lot more notoriety than he did with the Jazz. Because, I mean, the Jazz were good all season long, but I don't think people realize how good they really were.
And Hayward's probably, the second best wing player now in the East?
Yeah.
Or third behind Antetokounmpo and LeBron.
Yeah, third, definitely.
And he wasn't that way out west, and he still was an all-star.
It's too packed out there. So
good stuff.
I think he'll get a lot more games on TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Nitz, what's your hot take here for this Boston Celtics team?
Tatum wins Rookie of the Year. I don't think that.
Oh, I like it.
I think a lot of
that is a nice one.
I think
That's
it really
bold.
just depends on how many minutes you're giving him and how you're going to develop him throughout the year. But I'm just based on like summer league alone. I think I'm giving Tatum.
I like the way that you base the things. I know summer league. A lot of people say it doesn't mean shit, right?
It doesn't mean shit, but it's kind of like if we have nothing to really think about.
What it does is it tells you what a guy can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's and a lot of times summer league Damian Lillard absolutely lit up summer league before, like going into his rookie year. We saw what he did. I think it does show something. You can see what a guy does.
It got Dennis Smith Jr. a shoe contract. That's what the summer league did.
Yeah, and Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be he might be my front runner for rookie of the year. I don't think he's going to be the best rookie from this class, but he's going to be an all-star.
He's starting already. So
yeah, Hey, real quick before I get into my predictions here, Carlisle loves him, doesn't he?
Oh, he said right when he drafted him, he's going to start him. He may not start him at the end of the year, but for sure in the beginning of the year, he's going to start him.
What do you mean the end of the year? Why would he's going to start the whole year? He's great.
I'm just saying, maybe the rookie wall. He does something dumb. I don't know. He's a rookie.
I'm going to give my bold prediction for the Mavericks, just because Dennis Smith's going to be the best player.
Hey, we're going to have this show. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's okay. Well, I'll have more. Dennis Smith's going to be the best player on the Mavericks this year. That's my bold prediction.
Barnes is honestly, but
that's my bold prediction for the Mavericks. But for the Celtics,
have another one then when we do our show.
I'll definitely have another one. You know me. You know I've got a lot of stuff.
I got a lot of takes, man.
Hey, I've got a lot of stuff. But for me, I'm going to call it now. Jaylen Brown's going to be the most improved player in the NBA. That is my hot take for players. Team, the Boston Celtics are going to win. I'm torn between 59 or 60 wins.
Come on.
I'm going 60. I'm going 60 wins for the Boston Celtics. Okay. I'm going 60. Woo. The Boston Celtics are going to win 60 games. They're going to get to the NBA Finals, and they will take Golden State to 6 games. Woo. Ultimately losing.
This is so much in one take.
I you know, when it's a team that I'm really this high on, I'm going to go all the way.
The Wolves, man.
Yes. But that is going to end us for now, and I'm going to you first here, Lance. I want let everybody know where they can find you on Twitter and where they can find your work at.
So it's Lance_972. Keep it simple. And then I write for 16winsofring.com. As of right now, we're kind of going through a little reboot, so we haven't really been putting stuff out because we're about to have a whole new layout and stuff. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes, and he does a lot of stuff for the Dallas Mavericks, by the way. That's his team. Now, Nitz, I'm working here. We're going to get you more followers because you're new to this whole thing. You've done an outstanding job so far.
Thank you.
I have to say, yes.
Appreciate it.
Let everybody know where they can find you on Twitter so that they can follow you, so we can get get those followers up there.
Yeah, guys, follow me. It's Nitz Bluv. It's NITZBLUV. It's a rough one. I even tell you how to pronounce my name when you get to my page, so you know. That's an incentive. You can't find my work anywhere yet, other than this podcast, but you will.
I don't know how you are as a writer if you're going to even attempt to do anything like that.
I'm a great writer. I got to find the time. If you want to come to
outstanding. Lance can probably get you hooked up with the right. A couple
of websites that I know are looking for, so we can DM each other, and I can tell you some of the websites. Yes. I think Last Word on Sports, they're looking for some people. So that's one of the sites.
And I myself am a shitty writer, although I know James said that he's looking to start a website of nothing but shitty writers, and maybe I can join his website as a writer.
It's a website with nothing but stats.
Yeah, exactly. I can
no stats.
I can be that guy because I am probably I may be the number one eye test guy on NBA Twitter. You know, them can all come after me, as James puts it. I don't care. I mean, it's all love. I love those guys. I love the stats guys. They're all good people.
We all need each other, man.
Absolutely. There should be no beef.
No, I don't.
I love James calling them. It's funny. It's entertainment.
Well, I think there's an elitist, sense. But,
you know I'm laughing, don't you?
yeah, man, my roommate just came here. I was like, damn, because his
Nice.
dog is here, and like he's a big dog, so sometimes he just barrels through the door. So I was like, let me make sure it's not the dog.
Yes.
But I mean,
at least it wasn't Pennywise the clown.
Some people are like, oh, the number's this, the number's that, and then or they poo-poo the eye test guys. I mean, dude, we all need each other because there are times where I can't watch the game all the time, which I will, but at the moment I kind of do need to read on certain stats, and blocks and steals don't tell everything. I mean, you can Westbrook gets a lot of steals, but he's not necessarily a great defensive player.
When I say stats, so that's not really what I'm getting. That's not what I think James and I refer to. It's more the VOR, PM, and all that advanced.
Yeah, well, some of that stuff is because even like some of the box score stuff. I mean, if you're on a bad team, it doesn't matter how good you are. Your box score is not going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it just
the plus minus that is.
You know, me and I know James got on me last time. He said, "Good job, Coach Nick." He called me. Everybody, Coach Nick from B-Ball Breakdown.
Hey, he's awesome.
I was mentioning something the other day, but you know, me being someone who, you know, yes, I only played 1 year of semi-professional basketball, but it makes me more of an eye test guy. But I'm not like Charles Barkley. I don't disrespect the stats guys. I think it has a place. Yeah. And
you watch more games than Charles Barkley does, and he gets paid to watch games. So,
and that dude isn't watching. He's in the back eating chicken wings. I'm just saying.
He's got the job of a lifetime, man.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? If you really want to talk basketball, I guarantee you'd probably all love to talk to Charles Barkley. That dude knows his stuff. But he's not watching guys like Nikola Jokic, who today everybody if you follow me, you saw my tweet. Apparently, it's a thing today that if you don't think Jokic is a top 10, 15 player, you're a casual fan.
Oh okay, yeah, I didn't get in on that.
I'm a casual fan then because I'm not that far.
You're not that high?
He's in my top 20, but he's not in my top 15. We're going to get into that because I am going to do once we get done with all these team previews, we'll come out with our top 25. I'll have 4 or 5 people on. We'll do our top 25 players. And then obviously the night before or 2 nights before, we'll do our overall season preview, just like we did last year. Obviously, Pete's not with us. He will come on sometimes. Pete will be back occasionally. He will be doing the Philadelphia.
Philly, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. Pete already hit me up. He wants to do Philly. So we'll get Pete on for that. I'm hoping to get him on for our NBA preview as well. I really want Pete. And he'll be on from time to time, but he's got things going on, which is good.
Yeah.
But Wednesday, I'm going to do the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, I know it's probably it's probably going to be more boring than the Brooklyn Nets. But I got to do it. I got to do all the teams.
So much different stuff.
All right. Hey, well, we got to get together and discuss when we're going to do the Mavs, man.
Yeah, you got to let me know your schedule. We'll definitely do the Nitz. Are you good for Wednesday?
What are you doing tomorrow?
What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. It's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. I'm doing 3 teams a week.
Got you. All right. Well, we'll find out then.
All right, Nitz, are you good for Wednesday? Can you do the Grizzlies?
Oh no, I have a thing Thursday morning. I can't.
That's all right. If you can't make it for the Grizzlies, that's fine.
It's okay, man. A lot of people probably can't.
Okay, yeah, that might be just it might just be me and Gonzo for the Grizzlies.
You need to do the Dubs soon. That's all I'm saying.
No, that'll be one of my last teams.
Okay.
I mean, if I can, I'll get on there and trash Chandler Parsons a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, just everybody's got to let me know what their schedules are looking like. Friday, I'm doing the Detroit Pistons. I got James Hollis and Duncan Smith coming on.
Oh, Duncan Smith.
Yes, I got Duncan, and I'm working on getting my guy Brandon Bender. Former player at University of Louisville. So that's what I'm working on for Friday. We'll see how everything goes.
All right.
Nothing's etched in stone, but that's my plan. I was gonna try to get Brandon Bender on tonight, but that's my fault. But I'm gonna get him on this week. Maybe he'll come on for the Grizzlies as well if he wants to. I say Grizzlies, and I got something to do that night.
Yeah, hey, the Grizzlies could be interesting because Marcus Gasol might get traded because he's said something about that.
That's the only interesting thing that's going to happen, but we don't know yet. We don't know, but I think that's going to wrap us up. But once again, like I said, I know it's the Grizzlies. We got the Grizzlies Wednesday around the same time. The Pistons will be later because Duncan can't come on till later, so we're gonna do the Pistons a little later on Friday night, probably maybe like 9:30. So about an hour later, because that's when Duncan can make it. Obviously, James, he's on the West Coast, so his time is his schedule is a little different.
Yeah.
Yes, but everybody, please be on the lookout. Once again, thank you everybody who's tuning in, and we will see everybody once again Wednesday night. I know it's the Grizzlies. I know it's tough, but we got to do every single team.
Hey, I had to do the Suns. Someone's got.
Yeah, hey, you know the Suns were easier
team.
to do. The Suns were easier to do than the Grizzlies, but that's just me. But we got the Grizzlies coming Wednesday. Hopefully, I can find someone special to bring on that one. It's going to be tough, but I think I can do it. We'll see. But until Wednesday night, everybody, enjoy your evening, and we will be back.